Hey YouTube, today is Friday, February 5th, 2021, and today we have FFF number 365 to review today. If you like this sort of video, hit that like, subscribe, ring that notification bell so you get notified every time I drop a video. You have a question, leave it in the comments section below. If you want to come by and see us live, I'm streaming on Twitch 5-6 days a week. The link is in the description below. With that, let's get to the review. All right, Factorio Friday Facts number 365, Future Plans. Kovarex, Factorio team. Hello, the 1-point run release is the final release of the vanilla game. It will be maintained, so bug fixes, simple modding, interface additions, minor tweaks can happen. But that's about it. Lid. I figured they would do that sometime soon. I've always said this, what does the future hold? So what are we going to do? There are several possibilities. Retiring is not really an option for several reasons. Not going insane being one of them. Right. There are some smaller experiments outside of Factorio realm that we want to do. Apart from that, we still want to extend the game. There are a large pool of ideas, yes, so all we have to do is pick from the most potent ones. But the question is how to package them. That's exactly right. I've always said that that now that this team has assembled, you can see in the FFFs their evolution of being a very development centered and kind of a push system of what they thought they could get done and then report out and pushing features. Now they have matured into a team that can execute on a mature model, and they set target dates and they pull development items towards them, right? Along with there's always the bug fixes are almost always reactive. The development items, the features are now pull, and you can see that shift. In fact, Clonin talked about it in a couple of Reddit posts. He's also replied to me on a couple of these YouTube videos. And you can see the maturity and this team going from a group of developers to a mature execution team, a product team, right? And now you say, okay, near the end of the arc of this Factorio storyline, we now have a pretty damn good mature team. What do we do with it? It's no longer a bunch of people pulled together by an idea, but it's now a team with a mission statement, right? You can't stop. I mean, you could stop, but you shouldn't. And with a game like this, there's so many great ideas and so many things we could take from it. What do we do? So there are basically 4 options. 1, free updates forever. Lots of teams do this, right? I guess we'll unpack that one. Number 1. Number 2, Factorio 2. Right? Why not? Right? You could put a lid on one. Many folks go on to Factorio 2. We recode and we crack it open and do something. Kind of put all of the future things that we couldn't necessarily do because of our constraints. Put those back on the board and see what we can make of a Factorio 2. Number 3, small DLC packs. Also a good model. With a team like this, there is no doubt that they would have an audience that would absolutely pay to keep this train going, right? The only problem with that, I would say, is where does the mod stuff end and where does the DLC pack begin, right? Because this has been an open platform for DLCs. I bet you that's going to be an argument. Number 4, one big expansion pack, like a Factorio Plus, also a good one. So I guess they unpacked that for us. So here we go. Free updates forever. A lot of games do it, notably Minecraft and Terraria. Having been close to Terraria for many, many years, streamed it. My first game I streamed for probably a year and a half. I was Mr. Terraria. I did the thing. I know this team, love this team, the Relogic team that does Terraria. This is they could have easily charged $5 for the Moonlord pack when they released. I guess it would have been 1.3, I think. But all of that content they put out was free And what they did was they pulled in brand loyalty, just solidified that brand loyalty, and we're all are willing to pay for and willing to jump in on whatever they do next, right? So he goes on to say these do really well, so the model works, but I believe it's not the best way to go for us. We are a little bit more of a niche game, which is smaller but more dedicated audience. Probably true. Not near as broad base as one of the most popular games on Steam ever, but this means that room for expansion in the sense of getting more players is limited. That's correct. If you want to expand your player base, doing this is limited. Factorio 2. The problem with the sequel is that it's expected to be very different in many ways. Correct. And technically a different game, StarCraft 1 to 2. Sequels that mainly just extend the content but reuse most of the stuff. A previous installment were common and old school games, right? Fallout, Doom 1 to 2, etc. I'm afraid that's not the expectation today. Correct. Yeah, that's not the expectation today. Like you just reskin a game and the audience will crap all over you, straight up. The point is that making a new Factorio is exact opposite of what we want to do. Finally, the base game's in a state we're happy with. Things like graphics, tutorials, engines, multiplayer. Specifically, we spent the most effort last year finalizing the GUI, and the last thing we want to do is throw it all away just for the sake of changing stuff. That's a good point. Number 3, small DLC packs. Personally, as a player, I'm not a big fan of small DLC packs. It gets cluttered. It kind of does. It gets hard to keep track of what I have, features in what pack, and do I need to buy in order to play with a friend, etc. Not even mentioning the developer pain, having small independent chunks of content that need to be compatible and balanced in every possible combination. That's true. If you get too many of those, you're right. You get this big matrix of what you can play together, and then the 3D matrix is what you can play together with another person who has it or doesn't have it. And what you end up with is this, the bigger it is, it's this more complex cube of compatibility, right? And finally, so we've done 3 no's. So no and no and no. So I guess the fourth one is what we're going to do. This seems to fit this the best, which is one big expansion pack. We could focus purely on extending what we have and making new content, which we want to do so dearly. This is important. What we want to do. You get a team that is motivated to do, not just for a paycheck, but this is what we want to do. Like they're in the driver's seat. This is what we want to do. It would be one well-defined product, so be significant enough to recapture people's attention and would be compatible with our workflow, right? It's just a new version of the game. It's technically would be just new version. So all infrastructure mods would be updated. Multiplayer would just work just the same as work until now. So expansion pack it is. This immediately comes to 2 main questions. What will it contain? And when is it coming? What? Is way too early to show any of the plans. Oh. And since we want to keep the iterative process of expanding things to prove that prove to be the most fun, the plan is quite loose anyway. When? All I can say is we're starting work on it now. I guess that we're about to read on that. We don't think that it will take less than a year to develop. So a year out. Personally, very curious how the theory of getting more efficient once the engine is solid will hold. Looking for humans, he says in section 2. We don't want to discriminate, so if a talented animal or AI applies, we'll happily give it a job. AI, it's already replacing several segments of the society in terms of what it can do, right? Since we are finally going to add new content where we are financially doing quite okay. Good. It is the best time to invest in reinforcing our team. One of the steps we have already taken is hiring a concept artist that he might know, that might be known to you under the nick of Irondell. Yes. Irondell is the mod creator for Space Exploration mod pack. I did play it, and this guy spent tons of time on every single piece or every single entity that was created in space exploration. I would recommend getting space exploration, giving it a try. It's really great. I would recommend against doing it solo. You will want to do this with, it's very fun, but it's very complex. And likely I would recommend doing that with a group. Now, Bobs, Angels, Pyanodons, all the really complex mods that are out there, Factorio, all that you can do solo. Go tackle them. Space exploration is kind of it's a cut above, and yeah, there are scenarios, without spoiling it, that you will need a partner to kind of help you out, I think. Right? 3D artists. We made a job listing, and we've already hired 2 out of many applicants. We welcome Jersey and Lucas. However, this is still far from enough. We're looking for more, really. Full listing is on the ArtStation page, also on our website. Our operations developer. We have a lot of build servers, deployment processes, web servers, office working storage. We'd like someone to reinforce our DevOps team and help us maintain and develop our processes and systems. Ooh, look at us. Look at us mature. It will involve working our CI, deploy scripts, and being available in emergencies to put out fires. Our physical servers often need maintenance and repair. General computer building repairs is required. If you're interested, know someone who is. You find full details here. Job operations. Great. C++ programmers. We don't need programmers that much at this moment, but some exceptionally skilled can always find a place here. Bonus points for Linux, Mac OS specialists, as we are lacking these now. There you go. All right, section 3, final numbers for Factorio. 8 years of Factorio in the numbers. The initial Factorio commit was done on March 31st, 2012. Whoo! Factorio was in development for 8 years, 10 months. I did this kind of comparison between 220 FFF 223 and FFF 81. I hope you don't mind if I compare it with the current state. Our effort in the numbers. In development for 1106, 3,233 days. 411 public releases, 57,000 commits in the master branch. Almost, okay, how many millions of lines of code? Yeah, 856 lines of code. 900, almost, what is that, 1 billion non-empty pixels? This is your monster right here. 87, we'll say 8,700 resolved bugs. That's pretty insane. Yeah, and then 13,000 lines in the changelog, right? 799,000 YouTube videos. I guess that counts mine, right? I guess the question is, how many unresolved bugs? I think I have your answer right here, because they announced that last week.
0.0.
0 unresolved bugs. They got that. They whittled that down to exactly 0 last time. Yeah, so I released several videos. Yeah, or they close them as screw you. You live with your bug. 2.6 million Google hits of Factorio. 483,000 forum posts. 39,000 years of combined playtime. Woo! Let's see, how many hours in a year? 24 times 365, is that 86? Somebody do that math for me in chat. 86,000? Is that right? 864 hours in a year? I'm going to do the math live on YouTube. 2.5 million copies sold. You guys do that math. Times 20, 8760. Yeah, I was close. So I am 2/3 of a year of I'm 2/3 of one of these years of combined. I've got 5K hours. And then, okay, let's do a little bit of money math. If everyone is $20, say, let's not go to $30, but if it started out as $20, 2.5 million, add a zero, 25 million, times 2, $50 million. $50 million if all of those in revenue, not cost, in revenue at $20. There's, I don't know how many was sold after the 30 increased to $30. So it could easily go up to maybe 60 million. It's not a bad little paycheck if it's just you and a couple of dudes writing code. Third of a line of code per buyer. 18 commits a day. Nice. 4.4 years of playtime per resolved bug report. What a weird combine of data points. 8 months of Steam playtime per commit. 37 days for each line of code and 20 minutes for each pixel. Mainly, it makes me realize that making changes, improving things, fixing small annoyances is worth it. It is. It is, Kovarex. And all of us on this side of the line really appreciate it. It seems generally doubled everything in 2 years. Yes, you did. It sounds like a good progression because that's the maturity of the model. When you went from just guys kind of working on stuff as they felt like it or what they would tackle, and doing a pull system and forecasting out and doing sprints and what can you get done, and then that model where that Clone and Illustrated saying we're going to have this done by this date. That way we can FFF about it and release it on the next release. Right? That's a great model to do. Section 4, final words. We are going to stop Friday Facts for a while again. Oh, man. I guess I'm just going to be sitting here playing with paper clips, farting around, not doing Friday Facts every Friday. We need, for more reasons, we need to focus on experimenting and iterating design ideas. Somebody could write this and say hi to the fans once in a while. Do it once a month. Shoot, I could do that. Hey, everybody, what y'all doing in Factorio? Number 2, if we show something that ends up being removed or replaced, it can feel like a broken promise. I get that a lot. I get that. That one hits home. If we show something, hey, this is what we're working on, and it never appears, Spidertron, until years later, Spidertron, and then it could feel like a broken promise. It's generally the worst thing we can do. Or you throw it in at the last minute and go, see? Told ya! Fooled you all along. Thanks, V45. Number 3, we don't want to start building hype too early and drive attention away from the finished Factorio. That's true. Factorio is a masterpiece. It is a masterpiece of a game. And yeah, we should prop up this masterpiece of a game on a pedestal and draw some attention to it because it is pretty glorious. And the feat that they have done over the last 8 years is pretty great. All the games I've ever played for the last, say, 3 years have never really kind of captured me the way Factorio has. It's set a bar really, really high. And number 4, some of the additions require extending the engine, but some of them could be reproduced in mods to a certain extent. Exactly. This is what I was talking about. We've experienced people trying to use mods to emulate our future changes before they are released. This is a few problems. People playing with these emulations can have altered expectations for the expansion. Yes, it wouldn't feel new anymore, right? Week 1, you show a feature that you're toying with. Week 2, someone throws a mod out there. Week 8, it's finally released, and it's different than what the mod we've been playing for 7 weeks. And we go, wait a second, this sucks. Oh, why don't I just use the mod, right? Yeah. So, yeah, I get that. And, you know, what would we get out of a major expansion that we wouldn't get from mods? Like, where is the mod line drawn? So that does require, I get that, it does require maybe keeping some things a little more closer to the vest, right? So that the mods don't come in and horn in on the business. It's not that we're not an open platform we want to be sharing, but at some point, there are some things that need to be kept as expansion for business, all that sort of stuff, right? But still, there are many interesting topics related to designing and implementing the planned features. So as release approaches, we'll be more than happy to present a peek into the process, discuss some of the content additions. That is to say, Friday Facts will start up once again when the time is right. That's pretty great. Thank you all for being with us on this journey. We look forward to what the future may bring. And as always, let us know what you think at the usual places. Yeah, I would say that Factorio is either finished or very close to being finished. It is a masterpiece, and there's really, I mean, even with 1.1, there weren't really any more features that the community was really pulling for anymore. We got a couple features delivered that we didn't know we needed. The power pole fix and the train reservation system, train stop limit. That's a really big one. Didn't know we needed it until it appeared on an FFF one day, and we went, "Oh, this is brilliant!" Right? Super simple. All of those things. Optimization always helps, but it's not like we're really pulling for it. So, from all of us on this side of the camera to all of you at Woob Software and Kovarex. And the team that you built, thank you very much for this masterpiece. We've enjoyed it a ton. It's certainly impacted my life quite a bit, and I know if you have followed this saga, it's impacted yours as well. So thanks very much. Go to Factorio.com. Make sure you support them. Make sure you give them some feedback. And we look forward to what you've got in the future. So thank you very much for watching this video. We'll see you next time.